Hey, what's going on? So today I'm going to go over the top AI tools that you can start using. Now, I know so many people get uh they get like not frustrated, but they get overwhelmed, right, with all these tools that there's out there with AI and artificial intelligence. So I really want to break down the main tools you should be focusing on. I will go through a list of a lot of tools based on certain things that you can do, but I'm also going to go through like the top, 5, 6, 7 tools that you can just focus on. Okay, so I'm gonna create it. I'm gonna create this very simple. That way you can understand. But I'm also gonna show you a lot of the things that you can do with AI because there's so many tools out there, like literally hundreds and hundreds of AI tools. Okay, so I'm gonna go through these, and you'll see as I go through this list, and I'll have this document down below as well. But as I go through this list here, I want you to understand, I'm not going to go through every single one in extreme depth. I'm going to go through the ones that I really use and I recommend, and I use every single day, right? These are the tools that I use in my business, and my wife uses them, and to create presentations or to write content or scripts or whatever it is, right? So I'm going to go through some of these slowly, but then I'm also going to go through some of them very, very quickly that really they're just there to really help you, like if that's what you need. Okay, so for example, there's AI tools that help you with creating songs, right? So I'm not going to go super in depth on that because I don't do that. Okay, so the first one is, I think most people are using ChatGPT, right? And later on I'm going to show you how to really use ChatGPT. That way you can take full advantage of how it works. I'm really going to dive deep in another training. But obviously ChatGPT is probably one of the main things that I use. The cool thing is with ChatGPT, you can do a little bit of everything, right? You can ask it to write things or to create content. You could ask it to write emails or even create images now. So you can do a lot of everything with ChatGPT. Excuse me. And I'll go through some very specific examples of how I use ChatGPT. I've been using a lot to create images for Facebook ads, right? So you'll see in some of these, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah. So for example, I've been creating ads with ChatGPT. I've been creating images. Okay. So, very, very powerful, right? So you can do a lot of things with ChatGPT. And I'm not going to go through super advanced yet. I just want to kind of touch through all these AI tools. Okay. So as you can see though, I just want to show you something pretty cool. So this one right here, I think is this image, but let me go to my Facebook ad account, because this is pretty cool. So if I go to, this was just today, let me go last few days, that image has already made me money, right? So you can see if I go to one of the images, I click on this, you can see that image right here. You can see it's kind of hard to see maybe, but you can see it's gotten 5 purchases, right? And I created this all in ChatGPT, which is pretty insane, right? So if I go inside of here, you'll notice this is all running as a Facebook ad, 100% ChatGPT created image, right? And I'm able to create these creatives using this tool. Okay. So anyways, you can see just some cool stats and cool things that I'm doing. So that's obviously the first one is ChatGPT. Next one, we're going to actually come back to this in just a little bit, is custom ChatGPTs. This is actually super powerful. And I really want to show you how to use this, not only for yourself, but also for your students or your clients. This is like one of the most powerful things you can do. Basically what this is you can create these custom GPTs on the side for certain things, right? So for example, like this one right here, this is a custom GPT that I created. This is all based on how I teach in my framework. And what's cool is, this one helps people create an online course, right? It says, help me create a course that sells, and it'll help you create that entire course. Okay. Now the cool thing is, this is also used as lead gen as well, right? So if people want to, click on my website here, right? They use this free thing, but they can also click on my website and boom, it goes straight to, the product I'm selling, right? So again, we're going to go really into this in another training, but this is something to be really excited about, not only for you to use custom GPTs, but also for you to create these. And that'll be obviously another training, but something to really think about as we go and understand how this all works. Okay. Next one here that's very powerful is Canva AI. Now, Canva AI is, I mean, you could do a little bit of everything. Like it's actually very, very powerful. Okay. So I'm going to go to Canva. I use Canva like constantly for content and posts and events and webinars, right? But you can have Canva AI literally do pretty much anything you want it to do, right? So you can go over here and I can click on Canva AI over here and you can ask it to, hey, I want you to code for me. I want you to draft a document. I want you to create an image, right? So watch, I can even do create an image of a 9-to-5er who hates their job and wants to quit. Yeah, so maybe something like that, right? So you can ask it to create an image. So again, obviously you can create images in ChatGPT, but you can also do this in Canva. But what Canva can actually do as well is it'll create presentations for you. It'll create webinars, right? So if you're a business, you're trying to sell or create slides, or even if you're just an employee and you're trying to create slides for your work, right? That's what Canva can help you do, right? So I really want to create this program to help you understand the power of AI, not only for creating a business, but as you can see, look at this. I mean, it gives you some pretty good images, right? Canva does a really good job. And then, if you click inside of here, you can, you can open this in the editor and even edit it even more, which is cool, right? You can add your logo or do what you want with this, right? Because what's cool is Canva has like this magic studio right here. And it'll do like some pretty cool stuff, right? So it'll do like background removal, right? So if you want just to take out the background, you can see it does that. You can do magic erasers. So if you want to erase certain things in this image, you can literally just, hover over these things and it'll erase it, right? So you can kind of do that. And then, the AI will know what you're trying to do and it'll try to erase the image or whatever it is. So you can see it got rid of the watch, right? It kind of knew what I wanted there. Okay. So Canva slides or Canva AI is actually very powerful. I use it a ton. It's one of the main tools that I use. Again, I'm going to go through the ones I mostly use, and then we'll go through all the tools in just a little bit. Okay. So Canva AI, again, let me show you one more thing that you can do with this is you can create entire presentations, right? So if I go over here, again, you can go back to Canva AI and ask it, right? Design an entire presentation from you, right? Step by step. So very, very powerful, right? So you can even see what you can do with the AI, right? You can design, you can create images, you can write, right? You can blog posts, okay? So all these things. I will say Canva AI is really good with like presentations and images. Rather than writing. Okay. And we'll go over some tools that do a very good job on that as well. Okay. So next one here, I actually use this one a ton, is Syllaby IO. Now, Syllaby is a tool that it's actually created by a friend of mine, Austin Armstrong. And I'll show you who owns Syllaby, because it's always cool to know who owns a lot of these softwares. But this guy grew a massive following online. You can see 1.7 million followers. And he's the creator of Syllaby, and he's also built an incredible YouTube channel. So the reason why I mentioned that is because you have someone that understands creating content, creating YouTube channels. And when you have someone like a CEO doing that, if you're using the software, it's going to know how to go viral, right? Because he's obviously gone viral on all these platforms. So what Syllaby is, it's basically a video creator and content planner. Okay. So I'll give you an example here. This is Syllaby. I use it constantly. Okay. So you can create tons of content. It's all faceless AI content. So if I go to scheduler, let me see if I can show, you can see in the month of May, I scheduled 28 videos to automatically post for me. Okay. As you can see, and those are all completed. Those are all posted and they're all good to go. So very, very powerful. As you can see, I've created all these faceless videos in in Syllaby. Okay. And basically, all you have to do here is really just create video. You give it a prompt of like, hey, I want to create a video on, 5 ways to make money from home as a stay-at-home mom. It'll create a whole script for you. Okay. Now you can give it a specific script, but if you just give it 1 or 2 sentences, it'll still create an entire video for you. Another cool thing is it creates really good thumbnails. Okay, as you can see here, I created this Bible video that I was doing, and as you can see, I created this pretty cool thumbnail, as you can see here. And really, for those who are YouTubers, this is a great tool, so you don't have to go and hire a designer. Okay. So not only will Syllaby create the actual videos for you, you can also create the thumbnails and everything. Now, another cool thing is Syllaby will actually even do the research for you. Okay, so if you go discover ideas, it'll go ahead and research. So very cool. I'll leave a link to all these, obviously, as you go through this. The next one is Funnel Freedom. So this is probably one of the most powerful tools out there. It's think of it as an all-in-one tool to run your entire business. Okay. Now, not only does Funnel Freedom have it has a built-in AI, all-in-one AI software. As you can see, it has this Freedom AI inside of it, so it helps you write emails. It helps you go viral on Instagram. It helps you create lead magnets, right? It helps you create whole entire scripts. Helps you target your audience. So the reason Funnel Freedom was created is because this is mostly for digital marketers that wanted to really go viral and really grow the business. So I want you to think of Freedom AI as basically like having a multi-million-dollar digital marketer working with you 24/7, right? So it's like going to, let's just say, Russell Brunson and saying, hey, can you write an email for me for my products? That's what this is. It has the brain of a digital marketer, right? Unlike maybe like ChatGPT, where it's just very general, right? It's still a great tool, but this is more designed for that marketer, digital marketer in mind. Along with this, this does some pretty cool things, such as it can create the entire websites for you. It has these AI agents, which is absolutely insane. Like it'll actually chat with your customers as well. So that's all included with the Funnel Freedom. And again, I'll leave all these links in here in this document as you go through it. But yeah, one of my favorite softwares, absolutely. I'm not going to go through Google VO3 super in depth right now because it's a little bit more advanced, but basically what this is you can create these very advanced videos. Let me see if I can pull up one of these. 1 second. Let's see here. Yeah. So you can create like these, like literally like Hollywood type videos with this new Google VEO3. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find this here. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to pull this up. Let me see if I can.
Congratulations. You now owe 180,000 and 40 years of your life.
Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm pull this over. Okay, there we go. You guys can see it now. So I actually created this in Google VEO3. And as you can see, it's an entire video.
You now owe 180,000 and 40 years of
kind of skip through it.
And 15 income streams powered by AI. This challenge showed me how to clone a working business.
So yeah, very powerful. Very powerful. I'm not going to go into super in depth on this. Again, later on, we'll go in depth in every single one of these tools. I just want you to kind of understand and not get overwhelmed, right? The whole goal is for you not to get overwhelmed with all these tools. It's just understand what they're for, right? So, and using the right tools at the right time. Okay. All right. Next one is Manus. Now this one is super cool. I actually started using this like a month ago. Think of Manus as something that can do complex tasks, right? So for example, you can have Manus, you can basically say here, I'll find an example here. Let me see here. Here we go. Let me show you an example of how I used Manus the other day. So I basically said, act as a high-level YouTube strategist. with all, with all my analytics, and I want you to give me some ideas on how you can grow my channel faster. So what's crazy is I gave it my YouTube channel, okay, and it actually went through it. It watched every single video, okay. So it was crazy because and you could see it, like it was literally, as you can see, it was watching my videos. Okay. It was crazy, right? It's going through my channel and watching my videos. It's just absolutely insane. And then what Manus does, so this is like it usually takes longer than like ChatGPT, but you'll notice here, if I go down, let me see here. Yeah, it gave me full analysis of how I can really grow my channel. It gave me some incredible data, by the way. I was totally blown away by this. It was just insane. Like, it's just, so think of this as like a deep research or like something that can do complex tasks, right? So it's not like ChatGPT can go do this. This one will actually take its time. It'll watch your videos, it'll do the research, and it'll come back. So this is actually one of my favorite tools as well. And another thing that I like to do is I'll give it like a ton of like viral posts right here. And I'll say, hey, can you write something similar, right? So it'll go through all these profiles, and then I'll have it kind of create similar content, right? So just think of Manus as a complex task. Okay, so very, very cool. And again, I'll leave a link to this. Right now, you have to have a special link to get access. If you're watching this later, you may not need that, but I'll put all the links to all this stuff later once I get that, okay? Freedom AI, I talked about that already. It's basically embedded in Funnel Freedom. So the cool thing is when you get access to Funnel Freedom, you also get access to Freedom AI, which again, this is all of these tools right here. Okay. So now let's go ahead and move on. Again, I still use a lot of the tools. These are just kind of the main ones I use like pretty much daily. Okay. But we're going to go through all of them. Okay. And the cool thing, what I've done for you is I've grouped them together. That way, like, depending on what you want to do, you can go to at least the group and figure out, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay. So I'm going to try to make this very simple for you. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Okay. So again, you're probably not going to use all of these at all. Like never, my job is to, understand AI and become the expert. And even me, I don't use all of these tools. I use the ones that, are going to help me the most. But I still like to understand what they can do. Like, for example, there's tools that can write music for you. I never need to write music, but if we're consulting with someone that, wants to learn how to write music using AI, well, now I know how to help them, right? So that's why I want to go through all of them. Okay. So some of these we'll go through a little quicker. But for the most part, I want you to understand you don't need to use them all. Okay. So obviously we went through ChatGPT, probably your main one you're going to use. Okay. One of my favorite ones to use. Again, we'll go through the custom GPTs later and how that works. The next one, okay, I really want to talk about this one. This was actually pretty cool. So Magi, so this tool, think of it as having like all the AI tools all in one spot. Okay. So if you just want to be super, like if you don't want to spend that much money on AI tools, this is actually a really cool tool, because what it does is, as you can see, I actually have now all the tools basically all in one spot. Okay. So for example, Claude, which we'll talk about in just a little bit, it has Claude, it has DeepSeek, Gemini. We'll talk about that one later as well. ChatGPT, Llama, right? All these tools that you might have heard of, it's all in one spot now, right? And not only can you create, you can ask it, chats, you can also create images as well, right? So pretty much all the tools I'm going to show you, Magi actually is a great place to get started because it has a lot of the tools already embedded. Okay. Now the only thing it doesn't have is like these custom chat GPTs, which I really, really like, especially if you're like a business owner and you're trying to get lead gen. I really want to dive into this. Okay. We're going to talk about this later, but a little bit more advanced. I'm not going to talk about that yet. I just want to get you excited about it. Okay. So Magi is great. I'll leave a link to all this stuff later. By the time you see this document, it'll all have links in there. Okay. So next one is Claude. Okay. Now, a lot of like expert AI people, you'll hear them say like, hey, Claude is the best AI writer, it kills ChatGPT. Like it's not even a match. And it is a lot. I would say it is pretty good. It's if you talk to any AI expert, they say Claude over ChatGPT. In all honesty, I still like ChatGPT because I know how to prompt it correctly, right? So, but that's that's another talk for another day. But if you are focusing on just like blogs or just something very intellectual, something that sounds as human as possible, Claude is the place to go. Okay, because you'll notice if you ever ask ChatGPT to write something, it does sound kind of AI-ish, and you can kind of tell, right? Claude, on the other hand, it actually does a very good job of and this is Claude, by the way. Claude does a very good job of making it sound like a human. Okay, so I do like Claude for sure. Again, if you're using something like Magi, you can simply just switch to Claude, right? So right here. So if you don't want to pay for Claude and ChatGPT and all this other stuff, Magi is awesome. Okay. All right. Next one is Notion AI. So this is definitely if you have like a business. So basically what it helps you do is it helps you summarize, rewrite, and it organizes your tasks for you. Okay. So I'll pull it up real quick. I'm not going to go through it super in depth, but basically Notion right here. This is great. Like if you're running like a team, if you're running a team of people, and it'll really help you organize your tasks for you. It'll do a lot of the things that you need. It'll schedule meetings or appointments and things that'll really save you a ton of time. So one of my go-tos when trying to help people put their businesses together using AI. So great tool here. Okay, let's so that's the first kind of group here. And let's go to the next one here, design and visual creation. Okay, so Canva AI, we already talked about that. Okay, Gamma AI, this one is actually really cool. Okay, so Gamma AI, it actually writes an entire pretty much webinar or presentation for you. Okay, and when I say write, I would say create. Okay, it actually creates it for you. Okay, so for example, and this is Gamma right here. What I like to do is you can have here. Let me go back real quick. You can have it actually generate everything for you. But what I would recommend is actually paste in the slides. Okay, so this is what I would recommend. Okay, so instead of just having this generate, it's not great at creating the actual like content inside. It's great at creating the slides. Okay, so what I would do is I would paste in the text here. So if you click on this, but then you put what you want in here. Now, the way I do this, I actually use Claude. Okay, so I asked Claude, and I did this earlier that way because it took a little bit. I asked Claude earlier. I said, "Hey, I want you to create right here. I want you to create an entire webinar on how to start affiliate marketing." Right. So basically, it went through and it created an entire slide by slide on how to do this. Okay, so it's pretty awesome. So as you can see, there it is, slide by slide. Okay, now like I said, I use Claude to do this. So what I did is I'm just going to copy this, and now I can add this to Gamma right here, and it's going to go ahead and create the entire presentation for me. Okay, very powerful. One of the most powerful things I've ever seen. So it's actually going to create the entire thing for you. Okay, so very powerful. You can look at the images and all the things that you have there. So it looks like you need to upgrade if you have past 10. Let me see if I can do a few here. Let's see, just so we can. Let's see. Let me go back here. Okay, let's do this again, but let's just do the first 5 slides. I just want to show you this is very powerful. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this. There we go. All right, now let's create this. Let's see if it'll let me. I'm not using it at the moment, but as you can see, let's see. There we go. Continue, and it's crazy. It's going to create the images, everything. It's just wild. Like it's so crazy what it can do. There you go. Generate. I'm just going to pick a random theme here. I just want to show you more of an example. Okay. All right, let's see. And look at that. Very quickly, it's going to create an entire webinar for you. Like it's just insane, guys. Like, look at that. And I didn't even prompt it that good. I just said, create a quick webinar for me. Boom, I can present this and make money, right? So I think this is really cool. Okay. So Gamma is definitely your go-to for presentation. You can see I just did that real quick. Okay. Midjourney. Okay. Midjourney is where you can create high quality images. Okay. So let me see if I can go to it. Midjourney. Here we go. So you can create some really good images, probably one of the best image creator out there. Now, again, you can do this on ChatGPT, right? So if you go and see what I did with, explanation. Here we go. You can see what I did with ChatGPT is I created these ads that I'm using. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So as you can see, I created all these in ChatGPT. So technically, I don't really need Midjourney, and I'm using ChatGPT to create a lot of these images for me, and they look pretty good. Okay, but if you want more like artistic, really cool looking images, that's what Midjourney is for. Okay, so definitely a cool one to create those, and probably one of the best ones out there. Okay, all right, let's keep going here. So hope you're not overwhelmed yet. Okay, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. Again, I'm going through all these. That way you have a quick understanding of what they can do, right? So, like for example, like I know maybe you don't need to create a presentation right now, but when you do, it's like, oh yeah, what did Jonathan talk about? And you can go and be like, oh yes, he talked about Gamma, right? Now I can go and create presentations. So, that just kind of want to let you know, okay, that you're not going to be using, I don't use Gamma every day, right? I don't at all, like only when I need a presentation, right? That's why I don't have the paid version at the moment. It's just the free version. Okay. Okay. So next one is Leonardo AI. So similar to Midjourney. I'm not going to go too into that. Adobe Firefly. So it's basically Adobe, but it has its own AI inside of it. So you can do a lot of things such as, editing and taking out images. So think of it as almost like a Canva AI, but not as powerful. So this is kind of built in. I'm not going to really talk about this too much. We talked about Syllaby, the AI video creator. Google VEO3. Again, those are the ones that this is the one that allows you to create like insane videos. Okay, it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. This one is, like I said, it's a little bit more advanced to use. I'll probably create another training just talking about Google VEO3 because again, this is you create these really cool videos, and it is expensive. I will say with Google VEO3, I think you're paying close to $200 a month. But yeah, it is cool if that's what you want to do, right? So next one I want to talk about is Descript. This one's actually probably one of the best editor out there. Okay. So let me see if I can find an example. Here we go. So I can go ahead and upload a video here and I can completely edit this, right? So as you can see, I edited a video here and I can edit it however I want. I can take out probably one of the best editors I've ever seen for sure. Okay. And I can essentially create clips and images and edit it, right? So, I mean, I think just a few months or even to a year, it's going to be taking over the editors completely. Okay, it's already very, very powerful, and you can do some amazing things with Descript. As you can see, you can edit a video, you can make a podcast, you can create social clips, right? So I can go over here, upload a video, and it'll create little clips of the video. So very, very powerful. Okay. Transcribe a file, fix eye contact. It's pretty insane what you can do with Descript. Probably one of the best softwares that you can use. Now I do have an editor, so I don't use it every day. But if this gets to the point where this is matching the quality of my editor, it's going to be one of those things, right? So, but I love my editor. He does a great job. But this is a very, very powerful software. Now, Opus Clip is something similar to Descript. It'll basically repurpose it into short form videos. So technically, if you have Descript, you don't need Opus. But Opus is a really cool one as well. Works really well. Okay, almost done here. You're probably at the point where like, I'm a little overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff going on. I know, I get it, right? Again, if you go to the top of this, these are the main ones you'll probably use depending on what you're doing. But again, I'd want to go through some of these main tools, okay? All right, so now we're going to go to voice and audio, okay? So 11 Labs, okay? So this one is probably the most realistic clone of your voice out there, okay? So let me get rid of some of these tabs here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, so 11labs.io. So the cool thing about this is you can give it your voice and it'll completely clone it. Okay. Very, very powerful. This is great if like if you have a podcast or something like that, right? Or I've even had clients where they write a book, right? And then they want to create the audio version of the book, and they have 11 Labs go ahead and read it for them, right? So very, very powerful. So I know I have a book coming out soon as well. I'm going to be using 11 Labs to read it for me. Okay. So it's one of those things that's very, very powerful. You just give it your voice and then it could essentially use your voice and clone the voice. So very, very cool. HeyGen. So HeyGen is something I've used to create content. So basically think of it as 11 Labs, but with your actual face. So what you do is you actually go inside of HeyGen and you talk for like a few minutes, and it'll basically clone your the way you create content. So you can essentially give it a clone, and then you give it a script, and the AI will make the video for you, and it looks really, really good. Okay. And I did use it for a little bit, but I honestly, I still love creating content, making videos. So I stopped using it, but it is very powerful for those who don't want to create content. Maybe they just want to use the AI HeyGen avatar to create the videos for them. Okay. So very powerful if you don't want to go and create the content yourself. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're almost there. So Lovo is a podcast style narration. So for example, let me see here. So this one's cool because if you want to create an AI version of a podcast, you can do that. Essentially, you just give it the script, right? So you can go over here, for example, let me play an example here. Very, very powerful. And yeah, I mean, this is something that, if you've always wanted to start a podcast, you could essentially get started today. All you would have to do is just give it a script, right? And it'll create the entire podcast for you. So that's Lovo. All right. So now we're going to go to some automation and productivity. Zapier is, so for example, if you're using certain tools and you want them to talk to each other, Zapier is one of the main tools that people use. For example, like, if you want a certain funnel builder to talk to a certain autoresponder, and, you want them to talk to do certain things, basically Zapier is the thing that automates that task. Okay. So very, very powerful. Same thing with Make. The cool thing with Make is you can actually integrate a lot of things such as like Google Documents and Google Sheets and Google Slides, right? For example, let's just say you're building an email list on Funnel Freedom or ClickFunnels or whatever it is. You can have Make say, hey, when someone enters their email, I also want you to put it in this spreadsheet, right? So you can kind of have it do these things where it's talking to a Google document, and that Google document's talking to this thing, and basically they all kind of talk to each other. Okay, so very, very powerful. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit more advanced, and I wouldn't worry about it too much if this is not what you need, what you're trying to focus on. But again, I want you to understand what all the tools are. Okay. So, okay. MindPal, same thing, kind of managing all the tools in one place. The cool thing about MindPal that's very powerful, let me actually show you real quick. Again, this is where it gets a little bit advanced, but with MindPal, you can actually create these AI agents, right? So you can basically tell it to create an agent that posts on social media, right? And you can sell this agent. Okay. So for example, let's just say you create an agent and you go to a local chiropractor business and say, hey, I can automate all your blog or all your Instagram posts, and all I got to do is install this AI into your business. So you can actually create that bot using MindPal and then install that into this business. And you'll get paid. And for you, it was super easy. All you used was MindPal. Okay. So very, very powerful software for those who kind of want to build your own AI workforce. Okay. So very, very powerful. Same thing with N8N, same kind of thing as MindPal. It'll create those advanced automations, right? So as we go more and more into AI, we're going to really kind of see the power of agentic AI, meaning it's not like ChatGPT where it just gives you one prompt, right? Agentic AI is where you tell it like, hey, I want you to do this task. And what it'll do is it'll do everything it needs to do to create that task, right? So right now, if you ask ChatGPT to write, a webinar, it'll just give you the text, right? But something like N8N, what the power of this is like, hey, write a webinar for me. Okay. So it will know to go to Google, do the research, get the text, go and create the slides, put the slides into a website, whatever, right? It'll do all the things that it needs to do. And that's where AI becomes extremely, extremely powerful. Okay. Because rather than, again, if you're just on ChatGPT, well, now you have to take the text and move it here and all that stuff, right? So, MindPal and NAA, this is where it becomes very, very, very powerful. This is where the game changes. So I'm really excited to dive deep into this a little bit later. And then we're almost done here. Funnel Freedom, we went through that one. Okay, so research and learning, Perplexity is amazing. So if you really want to do deep research, Perplexity is like your best assistant for this. Okay. Now I've been really liking Manus AI, Manus IM for this, but Perplexity was one of the first ones to really do this right. Right. So if you can go over here, this will do some deep research for you. So very, very cool here. Google Gemini, think this is pretty much like ChatGPT. So this is Google Gemini here. And essentially it's Google's version of ChatGPT. I do use it. As you can see, I did make some videos with it because what this does is actually connects to VEO3. As you can see at the bottom, it says generate with VEO3. So I actually created some videos. I gave it like an entire scene, right? What I wanted, and it created a video, created the sound and everything. So this is also very, very powerful. As you can see here, baby on the computer and all that stuff. But so you can see I create kind of a lot of videos here using Gemini, but typically Gemini also works. It can create images pretty much like a ChatGPT. I will say I do like ChatGPT a little bit better than Gemini, but Gemini is also very good as well. So it's just good to know what it is, what it's for, all that good stuff. Okay, U.com, AI powered search with summaries and tools. I don't use this one too much, but I do want to go through it. Let's see, UAI. Let me find it. There we go. Here we go. So, so basically, it helps you with again research and helping you kind of do that deep research. Now, again, I really recommend Manus or Perplexity rather than you. I just want you to understand there's multiple AI softwares, and my job is to just show you all of them. Okay. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one right here. And then we have some bonus tools here, advanced people. Suno is the one I mentioned earlier. So this one allows you to create music using AI. Okay. So Suno, again, this is if you're a magician, not going to go too much into that. So I'll leave these kind of here just so you can look at based on what you need. Okay. So anyways, these are the tools I use. Again, if you go to the document, I'll have all the links to all these things. That way you can go straight to them. You can use my referral code and just to make sure that you get access to the correct ones. Okay. So I'll leave this document in here as well. That way you can go through these. I want you to keep this somewhere safe. That way you can go back to this and just, you know where to go when you need a certain task done. Okay. Now, moving forward, I want you to understand that AI can pretty much do everything that you need. You just have to know which tools to use. And that's what this video is about, is that way you know now which tools to use in whatever you're doing, right? Creating content or creating images or creating text or whatever it is. Okay. So that's what this is about. Again, later on, we're going to show you custom GPTs. Okay. So this is what I'm pretty excited about, is showing you how you can create these custom GPTs to not only help your clients or the people that you're working with, but it'll also work as lead gen as well. Okay. So something I'm pretty pumped about to kind of show you. And I'll kind of give you a quick teaser here. If I go to my GPTs, you can see, some of these, we have hundreds of people using them, right? Hundreds of people, and it all leads back to my programs and the things that I'm selling. So very, very powerful, right? So it's crazy what AI can do now. Like, if you really dive deep into it, that's my goal for this entire program, then it becomes an unfair advantage, especially if you know how to use it the correct way. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you on the next video.